Oh my God, we're live. Welcome to my first ever live stream. Before I got on, I was like, should I have like a coffee or something to like pump myself up? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna be nervous enough. I don't need coffee for this. This is good. So, hi everyone. Again, welcome to my first ever live stream. Ordinarily, I would do like a regular, nicely edited video on a topic like this, but I really wanted to get this content out quickly while it's in the news, and I just figured a live stream that you can replay at your leisure would be the way to do that. So I don't know how many of you will be joining me live, but if you are, welcome and thank you so much for being here. I think it's so cool that I get to do this as part of my job. So, what I'm going to be talking about today is I really wanted to chat about Microsoft's acquisition or move to acquire Activision Blizzard. So, if you have ever played Candy Crush, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, StarCraft, Diablo, or Overwatch, you may be familiar with the company behind those games, which is Activision Blizzard. And if you're listening in or watching and you're like, I have never heard of those companies or games before, and you want nothing to do with gaming, I'd still stick around because this news affects everyone, not just gamers. And yeah, so just to recap, Activision was in the news again this week because Microsoft made a move to acquire them for $70 billion. And that number is staggering for a lot of reasons, but mostly because Activision does not have the best reputation right now, let's say. The company is facing allegations and lawsuits for things that I won't mention here for, algorithm reasons, but you're welcome to Google. And, despite that, if this deal goes through, it will be the biggest tech acquisition in history ever. So today I wanted to break down why Microsoft is writing such a big check for a troubled gaming company and what this has to do with actually with Facebook and or Facebook slash Meta as they are now, and how that will affect the fate of Activision's game portfolio. So as I kind of alluded to, Activision has had nonstop bad press for the last like 8 months or so, but you wouldn't know that based on their sale price. And that's because I think the price reflects the scale of the gaming world in 2022 and the growth potential that people think lies ahead for gaming companies. But this acquisition is not as simple as placing a calculated bet on growing Microsoft's gaming sector. Like, I don't think it's this, simple, wholesome, like, we just want to get into gaming. And if you control F the acquisition statement, Microsoft mentions gaming 19 times, but they also mention the metaverse twice. And they spell out that they think this acquisition will give them access to the building blocks of the metaverse. And I am going to, you better believe it, get into the details of that a little bit later on. But just quickly to recap for you all, when we talk about the metaverse today, most people, and this is true for the Microsoft statement as well, are describing this interconnected virtual world or worlds that form this kind of digital mirror reality. And a lot of people see the metaverse as the next big thing in tech. It's the next iteration of the internet and, kind of the medium upon which Web3 operates. And it will be a place where we socialize, where we work, where we learn, where we play, where we game. And, it's not, I mean, there's more parts to it as well. This includes, digital avatars, collecting digital possessions, and using digital currency, whether that is Ethereum, Bitcoin, or something else that we don't even have yet. So Microsoft's acquisition of Activision, and I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to say that without messing it up, is what I see as a counter move to Facebook changing its name to Meta and announcing their ambitions to control the metaverse. It's a queen's gambit accepted if you're a chess player. That's kind of how I see this. And after this announcement, I see it as a very clear statement that Microsoft also has ambitions to control the metaverse. They're just not being as forward with them as Facebook is or was. And for those out there that hear metaverse and then you think Sims or Second Life and you're kind of like, whatever, I'm not really that impressed. I implore you, please, to do more research because things like Sims and Second Life are like prototypes compared to what we're looking at now. So getting into the kind of red flag with this announcement, and that is the interoperability problem. And this might sound really boring. Don't lose me here. Trust me, this is a lot more interesting than it sounds. So the grand vision for the metaverse is this common digital universe where all of these different companies and brands and creators can build these immersive experiences and kind of move seamlessly from one to the other. So it's like we have this big universe that's in like a globe, and then inside we have all of these experiences and companies and platforms that all kind of work together. And my company is one of the individual ones. We're all playing in this sandbox. But what we have now does not look like that at all. What we have now is more like islands. So right now we have like, Roblox over here, and we have my company over here, and then whatever Facebook's doing here, and then, or sorry, Meta, and then, all of the Activision Blizzard portfolio over here. And they're not able to talk to each other or connect with each other. So the problem with what Microsoft and Meta are doing is that it doesn't facilitate true interoperability and the ability to seamlessly connect these digital worlds. We're not like building towards that one like cohesive universe at the moment. And actually, who brought it up? I think it was the Indicator podcast brought this up, and they were 100% correct that if we go back to like a web 1.0 world, we needed to come up with some protocols that allowed anyone to build on the World Wide Web, which we don't call it that anymore, but at the time, that's what we needed. And these are things like Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is HTTP, that you type in every time you go to a specific website, and URLs. And as the indicator pointed out, these are all things that anyone can use, and they weren't created by a corporation, but by nonprofits. And they set it up this way so that anyone could participate in the metaverse. And anyone could participate in the web. And as of right now, nobody, not a nonprofit, not a DAO or otherwise, has created this same kind of set of protocols for the metaverse. And we probably won't have that anytime soon, sadly. So, metaverse has become a tech but I finally screwed up the alliteration. The metaverse has become a tech buzzword, and companies are tacking metaverse onto their names and onto their products because VCs are throwing money at anything that makes metaverse moves. My company, for example, Future Sight AR, has been building mixed reality apps that live in the metaverse for 3 years now. And when we speak to investors, usually we have to explain what the metaverse is, and it's this digital world and why it's valuable. And now I just say, we make software that brings organizations to the metaverse, and VCs can't write a check fast enough. It is a complete 180. And while we are building one of those island bubbles in the metaverse, we are building it in such a way that when the ability to connect to another digital world is a reality, we are set up to be able to do that. But right now, that's just, a marker on our product roadmap, because to make it a reality, all of these companies, some of which are massive, like Meta, Facebook, whatever, will have to build infrastructure that works together with other massive corporations to create this interoperability realm. So you can see why I'm skeptical about Facebook or Microsoft building this like holistic metaverse. I think what they're actually building is immersive iterations of their products, which will be one of those metaverse island bubbles that is self-contained. Let me just check in with you guys. We're all good? Okay. So getting back to the acquisition, what does this counter move by Microsoft have to do with Activision Blizzard and their game portfolio. Well, in Microsoft's announcement, Satya Nadella said that, and I'm going to quote this. Let me pull it up. Um, Gaming is the most dynamic and exciting category in entertainment across all platforms today, and will play a key role in the development of metaverse platforms. Which, very nice media trained answer. But breaking that down a bit, the Activision portfolio includes some games that already let people have a kind of limited metaverse experience. And these are games like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Overwatch. And yes, people are there to game, obviously, but they are also there to socialize, whether that is natively over the gaming platform or talking on Discord while playing. And to put this into perspective, I know that I know there's a lot of you out there that aren't necessarily into gaming, but if some people meet up at a person's house to like play poker or chat and have a beverage. Others get into a gaming chair, they spawn into a game, meet up with their friend's avatar, and get on Discord to chat. And it's sort of like gaming has become a new social network, but I'm hesitant to call it that because it doesn't quite fit the profile of a social media network that we have right now. It's kind of something else, that's its own category that I don't have a label for yet. If you can encapsulate this and stick a label on it, please let me know. So even if you aren't into gaming or internet culture, like why would you care about who ends up building the metaverse and deciding how it works? And the reason I think you should care is because we don't want history repeating itself, at least not exactly. So when social media and Web 2.0 began appearing in 2010, 2012 timeframe, and I know some people would argue that it happened before that, but we're going to stick with that kind of couple year range. No one really cared who controlled social media or if there was any global standard social media companies should be adhering to other than like not outright blatantly breaking the law. And Facebook and Twitter were still new, like relatively new, and only early adopters were on the platform, like maybe 1 out of 4 people, a quarter of our population. But now we all use social media. Maybe we're not on every platform, and I hope, like, for the sake of your mental health, that you're not on every platform at once. But we're all out there, right? And gaming is heading that direction too, even if you aren't a gamer. You might still use the platform for socializing and entertainment, and it is becoming ingrained into society and culture. And the same way, like right now, most of us aren't content creators or influencers, but we still use Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. And when used in this way, gaming is really just one of the gateways that is onboarding people into the metaverse. So whether you are a gamer or not, you will probably end up on one or more of these platforms where companies like Microsoft and Meta will have access to just scary amounts of your personal data. I did a whole video on this. I'm doing this live, so I can't link it, but definitely go and search for it because it outlines this beautifully. But anyway, not to get too dark right before the end of this video, but that was kind of what I wanted to talk about. And I hope that by doing this live stream that it kind of motivated you to continue to educate yourself on what these massive companies are up to, because they will probably control a good portion of our lives, like even more so than what they do now. And I hope that maybe someone out there feels inspired to be the nonprofit or the DAO to set up the metaverse wide protocols that allow everyone to participate in this next iteration of the internet. And if I do more live streams, I promise I will have a better audio setup. I have my wonderful Blue Yeti like right here. And I don't have the right USB connector for it because I got a new iMac. So that it will be better next time, I promise. But thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with metaverse developments, crypto, NFTs, and the wild and wonderful things that come with building a Web3 company. I think I'm going to do a series on grid trading for crypto. If you're into that, be sure to stick around. And yeah, I don't think we have any questions, but stay safe out there, and I will see you next time. Hopefully, we'll do more of these. Thanks so much for joining.